Hello, hello. Okay. Well, it's already, hey, beautiful people. It's already weird with the
The
reverber.
reverberation. So I'm trying this. Is this gonna work better? I don't know. So hey, how's it going? So long time no see. I went with the beard style right here. So especially for people like Boyce with mindful skeptics, and with read my lips. I wanted to join the beard club, especially in November. No shave November is coming up, right? So there's that. So I'm going to have a couple of people on tonight, uh, and I hope everybody will join me. We're going to talk about a lot of different things going on in the world. So first of all, this is still an experiment. Um, Pretty much the reason I have not been doing oh, the reason I have not been doing any streams or whatever, because first of all, lockdown. Who can empathize with me on the lockdown? Like, I felt like my niche was going around the country and filming things, and then as a former cancer survivor, I didn't feel like that was a great idea during Corona to travel around the country and film things. So I kind of got stuck in one place like many people. And so then it's kind of like, what am I going to do? And there's so much, I don't know, like traveling with the campaign for a year, there's a certain amount of burnout doing Andrew Yang things. And also, I want to do more growing my audience, towards non Andrew Yang, stuff. So, uh, my idea, my vision for the channel is to focus on nonprofits and see what I can do with interviews in the nonprofit world, talking about how they change the world, how they improve things, and also keep up to date on Andrew Yang's nonprofit, which of course is Humanity Forward. So, going to talk about some of those things as well. So, I'm trying to still figure out how this, you know, how this whole setup works without having a dedicated person to run this for me, hopefully someday. So also, as you can see from some of the other video, or the last video I did before the real lockdown, is that I wrote a Yang Gang book. And so that is in the works right now. It still is lacking an ending because I got um, sidetracked on trying to do things that make income instead of the book. But I did give people a chance to look at the first 10 pages of the book, and that's on my website, americanjobsfactory.com. I attempted a little GoFundMe page, but it really didn't take off, and I didn't have the resources or the time to really focus on doing a media push for the book. So it's still in the works. I want to get everything basically by Christmas out and things like that. So I'm going to have people join me here on the stream today. But another thing that I'm going to be doing is on my Instagram, and that's American Job Factory on my Instagram. I'm going to be doing a response to The Hill, pretty much every day or every other day. So if you are able to connect with me on my Instagram, you can definitely check out that kind of doing a kind of a, a series as far as that goes. That's one of the things I wanted to do. So those are two things. Now, what I'm trying to see is where, if there's a chat going on. It says live chat is available. So I don't see anybody chatting right now. I think the two people that are on here are just me at this point. So That's why. Oh, hey, I got somebody did chat me. I'm gonna say hey back. And that was Emmy, Emily. Okay. Oh, saying hi there back. And this is I'm also streaming on. You know, this is the thing. This was supposed to start out with a video. So I'm going to see if I can get the video and how do I incorporate that in? See, it says that it's the videos here and video clip. It's supposed to be like, I don't know. Did anybody see a video clip when I started? It says that it is supposed to start with a video clip. Who knows? So if you can help me out with that information, that's great. Okay, so let's see. What are we doing today? So the guests that I have prepared are basically 3 different people from the Yang Gang, and I'm not promising anything until they actually show up. So, and we're going to talk, you know, just kind of update on everything. So, you know, politics, you know, Yang Gang stuff, you know, good old Joe Biden, you know, all of that type of stuff. And then tell me which, the other thing, tell me which stream is better. Actually, when I go to this stream here, it reverberates.
And if I go, see, I don't like this here. I like the mic better. How do I unmute mic?
You hear me now? So this is gonna be the way I do it. I'm trying to figure out maybe if I mute that, muting the mic on that one, my other camera. Hello. So you know, it's all a work in progress. So I do think that this mic that I got here is much better. So hey, thanks for hanging in there. So what is everybody gonna vote for Joe Biden now that Andrew Yang tells you to? Because I am really leaning that way at this point. He's like, give Joe a chance. He can make things marginally better. It will be great. So at some point, I'm like, okay, Andrew Yang told me so. You know, he didn't run for president and do all this work, you know, not to have a say who becomes president. So let's just go with it, right? Let's just go with it. So somebody says Joe speaks for me. Joe is a nice guy. Somebody's gonna write in Andrew Yang, but they're in a red state, so it doesn't matter. Okay, well, but they're turning red states purple. So I'm going to be in Dallas, Texas for a while for the foreseen future, and I guess in Austin, Donna, which Humanity Forward Texas has endorsed, and of course Andrew too. But so Donna is doing a lot here. I'm really excited about how Andrew Yang has led the way on lower ballot, under ballot candidates, however you say it. North Dakota went blue in 2008. Oh, somebody's a pretty big Joe fan if you're trying to say that he's handsome. Who's Zolan Zump? I don't know who that is, but I have ran into the Vermin Supreme guy before. So that guy with a boot on his head, very interesting guy. Very interesting. Boy, and what a campaign to be going pretty much every year. That campaign goes every year. That's some hardcoreness right there for Vermin Supreme. So anyway. So what is going on, everyone? So everybody excited about there being a vaccine? Because I don't think that's really the solution. I listened to a guy, I think the other day, who was pretty adamant about that we have the cure with current drugs, but we need to do trials, right? Nobody is doing trials, and that's, with all the talk about, especially with Trump and whatever, saying that we do have the cure with the different drugs, but the medical community just isn't telling you. Well, that's not exactly true, because what we need are clinical trials for existing drugs, and that's what no one's talking about, making sure that you're part of a clinical trial. If we could get, and there, especially our Black community is not signing up for clinical trials, so they're not being represented as, with vaccines or a cure. And so that's one of the big issues that they're talking about, that if we got people signing up for clinical trials, we could ultimately have a cure for COVID. Okay, I'm trying to read your comment here. They took our jobs. Yeah, so that's the main focus of my channel, is jobs for American Jobs Factory. So talking about the economy and how bad it is right now, we never thought that it would be this bad. They've been talking about a bubble for a while now, and they also were talking about how something would happen in the economy for Trump to not be elected, and basically a crash. And we kind of saw that, but of course it picked up again. So I don't know. Right now, the stock market is showing improvement that is not sustainable. So, and it's really throwing people off, especially with the unemployment numbers going down just currently, even though it's the highest, ever. So people are very confused, and they're talking about, it's not going to be a V-shaped recovery. It's going to be a K-shaped recovery and all of those kind of things. But regardless, the way that we want to rebuild the economy is that if we rebuild the economy, we need jobs that are focused on us and not on like the Amazon job management program. Now, Amazon job management program, they have computers that are literally telling workers what to do, what metrics to meet. And if they don't meet them, they're going to have computers basically say, sorry, you don't have a job. Please take your things and go. Trying to cut people out of the solution or out of human resource altogether. So, and there's all kinds of, from Benjamin, all kinds of comments here. I'm not quite sure what these comments are even meaning, Benjamin. Honestly, they need give Uzis and bazookas, really? To who? The police? That would be crazy scary. Give them more money for policing the state. Now, we need police reform. I think everybody agrees we need police reform, and we need police to be held accountable so that we don't have the problems that are occurring right now. But honestly, there wouldn't be so much rioting and protests if people had something to do during the day, which was jobs. This is all a direct relationship to unemployment. So yeah, that's the other thing. I had a coworker who used to be a police chief, basically, and he got out of the police force, and basically because he said that the system was handicapping him from being able to do his job because of all the activists. I mean, anytime he went to handle something or take care of something, there was a camera on him filming him, and then people like cursing at him, trying to get him to mess up or do something crazy. So social worker partners instead of cop partners. There's definitely some de-escalation things that people need for sure. Absolutely. So I so okay. And obviously there's good cops and there's not so good cops. The I think it's more importantly it's the system. It's not any individual person, because anytime you create systems that don't work, people are in the people will break the law and will do things that are bad for society. If you set up the system wrong, that translate into people acting wrong. And right now, they talk about cops are cops are more likely to be are trained longer in other countries and things like that. So uh so I need some variety here. So let me get this set up here real quick. Um See if I can get some other stuff going on here. Hold on just a second. So how do we get my other screen? Okay, here. Let's see. Share screen. Window. Share audio. Oh, that's good. Let's not do that. Okay, that's very interesting. Okay, guess I'm almost there. Let's see. It's all about speed, and I don't got it. So the other thing is, if anybody wants to help with, this channel, feel free to contact me. Need all the help I can get, for sure.
Circles and Trump, baby.
See, and the thing is, like, trying to go between screens is very stressful. 'Cause I'm like, I want to go, I want to bring something up, and then it's like, it takes a while, and then I'm like, this is not good. So I want you to see, let's see. Oh, this is, so my streaming is already on here. So let's see if you see this clip this guy has. I'm gonna,
Hell yeah!
everybody, these are the Trump supporters. It's funny how, like, they're all, see, what I would like to do is I'd like to, like, pretend like he's on the scene.
It's a different lifestyle than you probably lead. Fucking Sons of Anarchy fucking all up for us, dude. It's a soap opera, dude. You know, we're not out killing nobody. We're right here with you. You can be a woman center, you know what I mean? It's about family, loyalty, and respect.
Shut your dick! It's Surges, bitch! And you never knew it.
Jeez Louise. Anyway, that was the I'm not gonna play it all because I can't. I just wanted to play like this one clip, and it's not working. Not working at all. Just like a little clip of that. It was people at the Sturgis, and he's interviewing them. It's so fascinating, and it's called "No Brakes." All what is it? All brakes, no gas. I don't know if you heard of that guy. Second. It's all gas, no brakes. It's this thing. Okay. Did you get the COVID test? No, I've not COVID tested myself. Haven't felt sick. So I have to get water. I'm gonna die, and there's a lot of show left. So let me grab some water real quick. This is a break. Here, wait. I'm gonna play this. I'll do this here, right? Maybe this will work. I don't know.
That's where Biden can sniff. Where? From under my balls.
Motorbike!
Well, I got a blowjob just right over there last year, so she was just rearing to go. I ended, so it was good for me anyways. All right, hold that clutch in. Give it gas, give it gas. There you go. That's a two-stroke there. Sturgis!
You gonna get a chip in your arm?
I am.
I said, are you?
No.
No, I'm not either. Trying to get to that one world government stuff.
What's the one world government?
I don't know. I hope we never see it.
Who do you think made it up?
Our government.
Yeah, Trump?
I don't know so much Trump, but there's a whole group of people up there, you know?
They're going into the neighborhoods now.
Who is?
Antifa. I think they come to my neighborhood, I'm shooting them. Break some arms, break some heads. Shoot them with rail bullets. That's probably what's going to happen.
These bikes are a vibrator between the chicks' legs. They love that vibration, baby.
I'm not wearing a mask right now.
Got big dicks, man.
It's all about riding in the hills.
Hey, so I gotta figure out how I can clip stuff in better. Maybe I can like pre-record it and just play it real quick. That's probably what I'm gonna have to do instead of just playing the YouTube. I have water now. Maybe I can last all like 2 hours. This is the plan. Anyway, and then what's going on with my guests? I don't know. Here, let's find a better clip because it's just that, you know, this is the problem with the clip I'm having. is there's too much cursing in it. Okay, that's my problem. More importantly, what I want to do is highlight, what I want to highlight is things going on towards businesses. So, like this clip. Have you seen this clip here? Okay. I think I almost have this clip ready for everybody. Okay, then how do I do this? How do I do this? So do it like that.
So McDonald's is in trouble again with a lawsuit up to $1 billion with a B dollars launched by black former franchise owners. And McDonald's was in fact one of the many corporations that publicly supported BLM. But as you may have noticed, a lot of these mega corporations' actions do not reflect their words. So McDonald's claims they have probably created more black millionaires than any other company out there. The lawsuit, however, says differently and suggests that McDonald's corporate has systematically placed black-owned franchise locations in bad areas and gave the good locations to white-owned franchisees. This is a very interesting case. The claim states that revenue at McDonald's is contingent, and this is very true. We speak about this on the channel all the time. It's a contingent on only one thing, and that's the location that you're at. And allegedly, these black-owned restaurants earned on average $700,000 less than a typical McDonald's location due to being placed in these substandard locations. Now, if you watch the channel, you know that the margins are not huge oftentimes with McDonald's or fast food in general. And just because you make $2 million a year doesn't mean you make any money after paying all of your expenses. Allegedly, many of these black owners had to declare bankruptcy. So franchisees noted that the decisions made became all about the shareholders while the franchisees were left out in the cold. And we see this oftentimes with these huge brands. After they become so big, they sell or they go public, and the nice little franchise turns more toxic towards the franchise owners. And we've covered franchises in the past like Subway and Tim Hortons. We'll put links up above where the exact same thing happened. And if you want to buy a franchise, this is something in your future, find a nice emerging brand and ride that sweet spot while it still has a family atmosphere and has not become so corporate centric. Now, what's also interesting.
So, hey there. So that's the interesting clip about McDonald's going through a huge lawsuit right now. So it's very fascinating how corporations are looking to screw you every which way, even for people who spend I often think, like, if I had just $100,000, I would be set for life, And then the funny thing is, people that do have $100,000, they spend it on things like McDonald's to open up a franchise, and they probably think, okay, now I've made it. I have opened up a McDonald's franchise. Easy living. Let's do this, and then the franchise puts them in an area they don't want to be, and next thing they know, they're losing money, and it's not all pie in the sky. So, okay. So, yes, thanks for that information. So feel free to read the comments. So I am waiting for one of the people here. I'm gonna do this email real quick to see if we can get them on board. Let's see. Here we go. So I am working on the email to So has anybody got a chance to look at my book or visit the website AmericanJobsFactory.com? This can get confusing, so bear with me here. Okay. Open, I just do this. Open, I'm not sharing my screen with anybody. It's so complicated sometimes. Okay. Try this again. Oh, that's kind of sent it to the wrong place. So okay, now let's try it. Wow, why does it want to send? Wants to schedule a send instead of just send. It's weird. Oh, maybe that worked. Let's try it. We'll see. If my people pop up here, I'll know it. So, okay, Benjamin, I love the nonsense, but I don't know what that means. You're riding a bike. That's good to know. Good for you. So, anybody catch Andrew Yang talking to Dan Price? So I watched that whole interview. It was great. Dan Price, I met in Seattle. Great. He interviewed with me too. You can find his interview with me on my channel. But Dan Price, good guy. Good guy. Okay. So I have a special guest here that I'm adding right now to the stream. And I'm going to do that one. And this is, hey, how's it going?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Cool,
I think everybody else can hear you. This is Macy. And you actually, I saw you at the People's Party convention.
Yeah, that was me.
That was you.
Yeah, it was. It was exciting. It was, it's, you know, a lot of things have, you know, the past couple of weeks, you know, one thing I found is that it takes a long time and a lot of work to put in the front end to just get the ball rolling. And I'm sure you know, it took a lot of effort to get the channel going. And then, you know, you stop it, you know, you start to lose that momentum. But once you start to get a little bit, you know, things start to click and it becomes easier. So yeah, I had that opportunity about a week or two ago, and then that was a couple weeks after another podcast, and had actually opportunity to go on the Zach and Matt show. But I wasn't available that when they were shooting it. So
So you haven't been on the Matt show yet.
Yeah, no, I'll have to reschedule and make it happen sometime.
I'd like to see you on Problem Solver Politics too.
All right, let me. I need to have my notes up, and I hadn't planned on being productive here. I was planning on just having a chat, but now
we're just chatting. This is definitely a low key, not the interview, but I do want to have like a longer type of interview with you in the near future.
for sure. Yeah, no, I definitely, I imagine we just keep it light. I'm just like, I didn't know what to do, so I just literally pulled like my girlfriend's like Facebook Messenger thing up. I'm like, notes, like Problem Solver Politics.
I can send you a message to remind you as well.
No, I appreciate it. Let me keep this window open so I don't lose it. Not have my hair stick up and look silly. So how's it going? I've been watching the stream, been enjoying it. What's going on?
This is my attempt to come back. So
the comeback, it's tough. I feel it,
this is my comeback attempt because, like I started off like kind of talking about, it's much easier. Well, it felt easier for me to travel the country and put out videos, but COVID, everybody in business is like, now that COVID started, we had to learn to pivot. Like that's everybody's favorite buzzword. We had to pivot because of Corona. Well, I mean, I had to pivot or start thinking about pivoting when I was, at the New Hampshire speech, and Andrew had to bow out, and everybody was standing around going, with their jaw on the floor.
Yeah.
But
it's been a time to, and being in the startup business myself, I'm familiar with the term pivots, and I've done pivots myself, and I've seen them, and this is an exceptional pivot time for all of America. And I think it's, bringing up your talk of Joe Biden before, I think it's, we pivoted to Trump, right? That was, the country, the culture, the economy was not going in a way that left a large swath of the country feeling, represented, between the more, quote unquote establishment candidates, and the country is like pivoted. You can say that there's issues with, that, he didn't win the popular vote and whatever, but the fact remains that a large swath of the country still really does like him, and you can say it's brainwashing, whatever, but I don't think that's really fair take of the sort of rot that's been going on. And I think a lot of people have been forced to, it felt like we needed to make a pivot as a country. And now it's our opportunity, made a pivot, and it's like, maybe we want a little pivot back, or maybe not back, but we pivoted one way, but we maybe pivoted down. Maybe we want to pivot upwards and pivot forward, and start looking actually really where we want to go, not where we've been.
And so we kind of just jumped right into it, but can you kind of introduce yourself just a little bit and give kind of like a synopsis of what you do or who you are?
Sure. So I'm Massey Branscombe, Massey Mossy. So I've done a few things. I was I am still part of the Humanity First movement, was on the Humanity Forward board, served a nice 3 or 4 month term. And that was a lot of work, but a lot of fun, a lot of really great people. Got to work, hand in hand with Humanity Forward, and meeting, with them weekly, and, on projects and work, and seeing how they work as a, very well-funded, not-for-profit agency, but, still, well-funded compared to most, not-for-profits being mom and pop sort of like things, but, they're still not quite the big multi, million, or well, they have million, but it's complicated, and I can get the details later, but it's cool to see how like, okay, they're the next tier of like actually doing real stuff, and seeing how they work and they operate. And so I spent some time there. I also have a startup of my own, Gether, GETHR.to, and we do AI-based music marketing. So that's obviously one of the things that attracted me to Andrew Yang. I'm like, yep, I'm in that business. I know how it's coming. I know how it is. And he's totally right. And I mean, our mission is totally to enable creativity as a more viable lifestyle and to allow people to do more creative jobs and, rather have to do the sort of tedious labor tasks, focus on the creative aspects of their work, especially when it comes to creative content and music and creating, video contents and such. That's where we're focused, and we want to enable that. But we see that this general technology is going to have a force on the economy. So that's one of the reasons why I got into Andrew. And I'm also a product engineer part-time for another startup that does water condensation. So it pulls humidity out of the air and turns it to water using new technology that we've developed. And so I'm the lead engineer for that. And I also make music. So that's what I spent actually the first half of today on, was just wrapping up we're working on a little bit more of a song I've been working on. So I like to keep busy.
So what do you think of all these TikTokers trying to become famous?
Oh, my girlfriend actually low key TikTok famous. She's about to hit 50,000 followers on TikTok. So honestly, she does comedy. She just does little sketch comedy. She tells stories of you can go follow her. What is her she made it like casually as a joke, and just it randomly generated a handle for her, and so she's like, all right, I'll do that. And then like her first or second TikTok blew up to like 20,000, and then the next one was like 2 million, and she's like, what is going on here? And so one
of our local Yang Gang legends, Kai Watson, he has gone full into the TikTok. He doesn't do any like YouTube videos or anything anymore. He just does TikTok.
Yeah, so her @ is Juliana Stewart 2, no spaces, all lowercase. Juliana Stewart, STEWART. She's very funny, and just very wholesome. She talks a lot. She worked at Disney. She was a Disney princess, and worked at Disney World and Disneyland. And she also worked as a teacher in Japan. So she's also an incredibly interesting person. And just as a content creator, I respect her.
Let's try it again. So Juliana, Julina.
Stewart, STEWART 2. The number. Not the multiple variations of spellings.
STEWERT 2.
Yes. It's a pink profile picture.
It's her.
All right, cool. Appreciate that. It was no intention of giving her a shout out. I was just like, well, now you mentioned TikTok. I actually do know someone who's doing relatively well, and I have a TikTok too. I guess I could throw it out too. I'm trying to post there more. I just do little comedy sketches. That's the one place I try not to keep it too political. My Instagram @ Mimetic Theory is like memes. My Twitter is a little bit more political. My YouTube channel will be a mix of politics, chat shows like this, talking. I do video sketches. I have like a meme series of analyzing memes from a while back that I may or may not get back to. And yeah, my TikTok is mimetic_theory. So that mimetic_theory is meme TIC_theory is what I use for pretty much everything. So yeah, that's my socials. Wear them out.
Okay, sounds good. So as far as what's going on right now with unemployment and you being with startups, how is any of your startups in a place where you're even hiring yet, or not really?
So the startup I have, my personal startup, yes-ish. I'm paying the team. I'm not taking a salary. I'm taking the minimum money I need to eat a month and eat and live. It's I think $500. Nothing, right? And then the rest of the team is doing better, but the minimum of what they need to keep on going and keep on working with the project. And unfortunately, better for worse, that's the nature of a startup, right? Is
Right.
you live pretty crappy for 5 years or so, hoping that, as time goes on, you get more traction, that you can start to afford to pay yourself more, and you get, investors to like, hey, y'all are doing good. We want to keep you on. We're going to give you more money. Y'all can pay yourself a little bit more. And then slowly but surely you start to generate more and more profit. And the, salaries and stuff go up over time. And honestly, this is the weird thing about the startup space, but a lot of the money is actually on the investor, the capital class of people, the million billionaires, people who want to, who see good ideas in the future and want to invest in them, and know 1 in 10 will work. And so that's what we do. I think we have a better shot than 1 in 10. I know everyone says that, but
So you're trying to be more attractive to investors.
yeah. So we have 2 investors right now, and had a meeting with the 3rd, and we're doing, applying to accelerator program tonight, that I think we have a decent chance of getting into. And if you're not familiar with what an accelerator program is, they just work with startups, and you have a cohort of like 5 to 10 other startups, and you meet with mentors, and they give you progress checks, and like what are your key performance indexes that you're measuring, and how are you reaching your goals, and how are you setting them? Here are your tips. Are you using all these resources? And you have weekly meetings, and are you meeting the metrics that you said you were going to meet in the past week? And they sort of hold you accountable and give you tips and advice, and then connect you. Oh, you need someone in the music industry because you need, maybe to talk to a potential customer, and you want to see if, a record label wants to buy your product. Well, I actually have a buddy of mine is actually owns a record label. Let me introduce you to him, and y'all can talk, and I'll give you a warm introduction, and then maybe they can beta test your product. And so that's what an accelerator does. And so I did one of them about 2 years ago, and then got pretty close to getting accepted to one of them, and now I think we'll get this one. But it's a whole deep world, and I recommend anyone who's into entrepreneurship to try to go that route. There's so much information around it, but it takes a lot of work.
I think a Venture for America has an accelerator program.
Yeah, I think they do.
Yeah. So.
Yep.
Yeah, that's good. And so I wanted to ask you something about politics. And
yeah.
And I think I don't know if I'm remembering the question exactly that I wanted to ask you, but you were talking earlier about, I don't know, I guess, Joe Biden is doing better. I don't know. The thing was, everybody who's looked into his policies have come away saying that they're better than we thought. So that's encouraging. But it's the whole idea that he's establishment, I guess, and that nothing is fundamentally going to change. But then there's this whole idea that we can change him because he's going to do whatever's popular opinion when it comes down to it.
Yeah. I think, I think people have to, when they say that what they want things to fundamentally change, I think people have to ask what that really means. What does that mean about, and this is what it means to be an American. Is so much about the American experience is about deciding about what in your life you want to change and try and change it yourself. And this is not an argument to say go pull yourself by your bootstraps. The bootstraps have been so worn down through generations of neglect. You try to pull them up and they tear off. That's not what I'm saying, but I think we have to be very thoughtful and clear about the not just saying, oh, we're tired, let's just close our eyes, throw the baby out with the bathwater, and then hope what falls in place is better than what is now, right? I think that's, I'm for, clear, really drastic, significant reform and change, call it revolution, call it, change, whatever. I mean, I don't think we need to burn down everything. But I think we need to, there definitely needs to be significant changes of how the systems economy, the economy works, obviously UBI and stuff.
To that point, a viable third party would be something that would be good for the country.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely need, that ranked choice voting or some other type of voting needs to happen. Right now, ranked choice in large by far has the most popularity. There's a bunch of different kinds, but they get increasingly more complicated. Not that they're cheatable, they're honestly less cheatable, but they're harder to explain, which makes people less sort of trustful than of how it works. So to me, the ranked choice is the place to start. and maybe we move beyond to, you know, something like star voting or, you know, whatever like that. But just right now, Ranked Choice has the brand and people are aware of it. And that's, you know, that's one thing that we have to, you know, being all of us watching, all of us consuming and getting into politics, we have to be thoughtful politicians ourselves in our own lives and our own states. And when we unify, we have to unify around the good, not the perfect, right? You know, unify the popular good. So you know, that's why I'm definitely behind ranked choice voting, and that's how we get a third party. It also just takes support, donations, and just like going out and volunteering, and you know, working in community and building up, you know, the nature and letting know the establishment is, you know,
it'd be much easier to volunteer if we had a universal basic income.
I know, dude. Don't even get me started on that. Don't even get me.
Yeah. But so I mean, for me, I'm pretty much not encouraged by politics. I mean, without Andrew Yang, I would not have, you know, cared or got into anything, you know, politics. But, you know, my whole way of looking at it is creating a business that would set a good example and move the country in a certain direction through, because I feel like capitalism and business is the entity that America has decided is the only thing that really works, because everybody else basically clears the road for a business, you know. And then what the problem is, like Facebook used to be scrappy, and you know, they were trying to be for the small guy or whatever, and then, or small businesses and things like that. And now at this point, you know, they're no longer that. Is the problem.
Yeah. I mean, well, that's the whole thing. Same with Amazon was like, oh, let's small businesses come start your company on Amazon. But what they end up learning is that, like, if you start a successful small business on Amazon, Amazon will go and replicate your business practices, go buy out a China and factory to go make your product cheaper, and then go sell it cheaper on their platform, beat you out, run you out of business, and make more money. And so, like, that's pretty anti-labor, competition. And, you know, to me, I always say it's not about competition, it's about service, and it's about serving those, and that having people with different ideas on how to serve, and like, oh, we can serve better. And then, I always noticed, like, when I was in school, I was always striving, working really hard. I noticed right when I graduated, like, I got a little bit of latent when I didn't have that pressure of other students and other classes I had to perform against. My ability to produce and serve went down, and it's only when, like, I'm sort of put up against something to compare myself to that I'm pushed. And to me, that's the aspect of competition capitalism. And to me, it's healthy competition. It should not be cutthroat. It should not be like we want to kill the competition, we want to destroy them. It is a friendly, game in which we can try to best and better ourselves. And to me, that's where one of the main reasons where capitalism has gone astray. It's become such a power-hungry, such a powerful, money-grubbing, lack of morals and ethics sort of system. And I think that's something we really need to educate our kids on.
The whole take them out by the kneecaps if you have to get it.
Yeah, it's win at all costs.
It was it's the mafia type of system. But so there's lots of things that have kind of shaped my idea around the business model that I'm trying to put into place to be for people over profits. But when we had the mob back in the day running unions, unions were a lot more powerful. And it's just unfortunate that they decided to, they were doing illegal stuff. If they were really about the people not doing illegal things, then I think our unions would be in a much better place at this point. Mm-hmm. And so my whole idea for my company is to basically create a new kind of union that places people in jobs that just like the main focus is the people over the profit. Like, create the system first and then worry about the profit second.
I think it's great. And to me, I think that's actually a super underrated talking point about universal basic income especially when you're talking, if you know you're talking to a more left-wing leaning people, is that UBI is the universal union. You know, that's the whole thing, is that on unions is that whenever the company was treating you poorly, giving you bad wages, bad working conditions, you know, bad environment, anything that was like, you know, this is not sustainable for me and my life and my welfare, what happens is the union, you pay union dues and they collect that money, and then unions go on strike and they have this big bank account and they pay that money back out to the union members so they can go on strike and they can afford to eat and live. And this is how they tell the company, like, hey, you want your product, you know, you got to raise the working conditions. So, you know, this is
the biggest problem people have with unions is having to pay dues. And my whole thing was, well, why do they demand dues instead of provide value, like the paychecks, the human resource functions, things like that?
Yeah, that's the whole thing, because the union's the only way. At the end of the day, you know, it speak soft. You know, as Truman said, speak softly but carry a big stick, right? And their big stick is halting production for the company. So if the company shuts down because the laborers are no longer working, the union workers are not manning the machines or whatever they're doing, you know, they're not writing the scripts for the TV shows because, you know, there's a strike at TV a couple years back, and you know, everything that means the profits stop or they drastically shut down, and so that's the big stick. And the only way that union workers can afford to like stop going to work, because obviously they're going to stop getting paid, is that the union has to have a pile of money that they can pay out to the workers so they can survive, you know, live and, you know, survive. But this is what UBI is that anyone can strike, any people can strike at any time without paying dues, is because they know they have their UBI in their back pocket. If they need to quit and find another job, they can. They'll go find a better opportunity for them.
Well, and the way I'm looking at it is, why should they need to strike anyway? Why can't companies be for the people in the first place?
Yeah. No. Of course.
But
no, yeah. I mean, obviously that's the ideal. I mean, it's the pragmatism versus the idealism, and trying to say like, again, speak softly. Like, hey, can we work this out? Like, you know, y'all had a blowout third quarter, y'all making profits, but like, you know, half the workforce is like having to work a second job. And like, that's why y'all getting all these bonuses, but like half the workforce they're doing decent work, they're not making ends meet. Can we come out of the way, get a bump raise or like more time off or whatever, so they can, you know, do what they need to do and, you know, have a decent quality of life? And you speak softly, but then like, no, go fuck yourself. I don't know if I can cuss. Sorry. You know, go.
It's okay.
If essentially the company says, no, sorry, we're gonna keep doing our ways, and that's when union says, all right, we're gonna go do our own thing too. But with UBI, you know, if the unions are so weak right now, but with UBI, it gives everyone at any point the ability to go do that, so people can collectively go do that and support each other.
Right. Yeah, the magic of UBI someday. So
yeah, I don't think we're too far away.
Yeah, we're thanks to Andrew Yang, we're definitely getting closer. So okay, well, I'm gonna let you go. I thank you so much for coming by, and we will schedule something soon, and we'll talk about all these things in a little more depth. Okay.
All right, sounds good. Cheers.
Okay, take care. Bye. So that was Massey. He talked about how he does a lot of things, but he also was with Humanity Forward for a while. So next, I'm excited because I'm bringing on Faye, the Lone Star Warrior. You know her, you love her in the Yang Gang. Hey, Faye.
Hi, Hi Daniel. How are you doing?
Doing good. Doing good. I'm growing out the beard, you know.
Yeah, it's filling out nicely
here. Yeah. So, how are you doing? How is Yang Gang stuff going?
We're doing all right. Yeah, we've got the Yang Gang report still going. I think Annette said she did a stream today of Yang Speaks, one of the latest episodes, and also we're still going.
Let's talk about Dan Price, the Dan Price episode. Yeah. So
I'm not sure, probably. Yeah, I actually didn't get to watch it today.
Okay. You missed it. That's fine. I met Dan in Seattle when I was in Seattle. So
that's so awesome.
It was exciting.
You got to meet a lot of really interesting people.
Yes. And Fred is on top of that list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, was Fred here earlier today with you?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm just randomly thinking of Fred. I see him on Twitter a lot, and he says that he's ignored the news for the last 4 months. And
You're talking about Fred Ramey, right? Because
Yes,
I happen to
Fred
be wearing my Truckers for Yang shirt right
Ooh.
now. See?
Yes.
Put off.
Talking about, maybe that's what made me think of Fred, and I just knew. It's subconscious.
I don't know why I'm wearing it today. It just happened to be, wanted to put it on. But yeah, so also the Yang Game Roundtable podcast is doing pretty well. We're going strong every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So every once in a while we bring on a guest also. So the last one, I think we had Heidi Briones again.
Okay.
We're hoping that she'll become more. She's going to come more often.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. And so, yeah, I'm hoping to do at least once a week a stream. I stream. I once I signed up for the basic on the StreamYard. So
right.
Yeah,
I think Yang Game probably misses you. We're used to seeing all your live,
yeah.
from wherever things are happening. You're there.
Yeah, I would love to get back into traveling around the country and interviewing people. And I feel like it's safe someday.
So is literally kind of ignoring politics right now.
Yeah,
it's become more interesting since Yang dropped out.
Yeah, it's not interesting, and like with this channel, like I said, I want to focus on nonprofits. So, but I would love to, go around the country and look at nonprofits. Also, what I wanted to, in the far future, what I wanted to do is I wanted to go to like the Facebook headquarters and film like Facebook headquarters and catch people and do interviews there and ask them, how they feel about working at such a huge campus and being in like the epicenter of, tech or whatever. And I thought that would be fun. Also, another idea I had was to go to the Walmart, the owner of Walmart, their family, they have this huge museum.
Walton Family Museum, huh?
Yeah, they have a family museum because they want to add to the culture of America, is what they say. But it is apparently a sight to see, and it also is an example of what millions of dollars will get you if you want.
So you're going to be traveling by air again?
Yeah.
You're gearing up to do this. When are you going to start?
When we get a vaccine.
Yeah, I was like, how do you know when it's safe to do it, and how?
Yeah, I don't know. Like in 2 years or something. I don't know.
But that is such an enviable superpower to be able to travel.
Yes.
And to go places and talk to people that you'd love to be, and stitching together the country.
Yeah, and I feel like it's a superpower I can't really take advantage of right now because of everything, happening, which is sad. It's like I feel handicapped not being able to travel. I could always put on a mask and go, but at the same time, it was hard enough trying to get hotel rooms and get my location planned out and everything like that, and and now it's all up in there. And plus, with the Yang Gang, Andrew Yang, every time he had an event, it was free to attend. What didn't cost any money, and so that made it easier too. So, if I go to all these places,
well, I remember paying for a rally. I remember sending a donation, at least.
Yeah, I sent lots of donations, but the Dallas one was a donation, and I had somebody sponsor me, so that's how I got it.
Yeah. So if I were able to travel, that would be really fun. I would do it with Zephyr, and we would have a lot of people to talk to. I think I have some heroes that I would like to see, and not necessarily Yang Gang heroes, just interesting people that I've always wanted to meet. That would be cool.
Yeah.
So what's happening now with your book and things like that?
Well, I'm still working on the ending because I don't know where it's going to end. Actually, I kind of got there thinking, oh yeah, I'll just end it here, and then things keep happening, and there's keep things I want to add. So that's kind of, and then trying to figure out how to get my business off the ground so it supports me is always an issue.
It's sort of like, what's really, really important.
Hi, Zephyr.
Zephyr, do you want to say hi to Daniel?
He's the star of the show.
Zephyr, you want to say hi?
Hi.
Hi. How's Minecraft going?
How's Minecraft going, Zephyr?
It was good.
Yeah,
it's not going because he hasn't gotten his computer back for a while, but you're getting it back today, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said you were going to get it back for me.
Yep.
After we ate lunch.
You mean dinner?
I mean dinner.
Yeah. So we are doing we're doing something with Shale Riley on Saturday nights, which I would love people to hear about.
Okay. Who's Shale Riley and what is that?
So Shale Riley is one of our Yang Gang who is he's a kind of an audio tech and musician. And Zephyr, can I please talk? Be quiet for a minute. Oh, Daniel went away. I am holding it down by myself. So everyone, there's going to be on Saturday nights, Shale Riley from the Yang Gang Roundtable podcast is playing Jackpot games with everyone online. So we're streaming it to our Twitch channel where the gamers like to hang out. And hopefully if there's any gamers for UBI out there, you hear about this, come and join us on Saturday evenings. It's just kind of if you've ever heard of it, in the past, the Jackbox games used to be like, they started out with something called, I think it's a game called I Don't Know Jack, or You Don't Know Jack. I think that's right. And after a while, it evolved into these different party games, and they're all internet based, and you can play them if you just have a phone. You don't need to do, or a browser. So I've been playing them on the browsers. It's a browser party game. So anyway, I wonder if, oh, here we go. So Daniel, while you were gone, I told everybody about the Jackbox games on Saturday.
Yes, that's great.
So the Jackbox games are like, kind of like, did you ever hear about a game called You Don't Know Jack?
Yes.
Yeah. So they are then that evolved into something just like a groups of party games built for the internet for I think like maybe 10, 15 people can play at a time. And then past that, you can still vote. You can still enter and vote. And you can just do it if you have a phone. You don't even need, like, you need a phone or something with a browser. And then you can play browser games. So party games for the Yang Gang, because I think we need more ways to just have fun together and build our community.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason I'm so lit up here is Hexel sent me for my birthday lights. So that,
really?
Yeah. So that I could have like some studio quality lighting. So
okay.
Very nice of him. Yeah. So I've been trying out my lights today, but I also have I'm trying to figure out, this is supposed to be my good. Oh, sorry. This is supposed to be my good camera. It is. It's a better quality, I think. But then I have.
You mean the one you just turned on?
Yeah. Where I'm kind of a ways away. It does
look. Yeah. It actually has very good. Yeah, I think the image is better. And even though you're on the same internet, right? Or different internet?
Yeah, I'm on the same internet. But now the problem is I'm trying to figure out how to get my
Zephyr, be quiet.
Get my mic to work here. Let's try.
Can you hear me? See,
Yeah.
it, like,
I heard an echo now because you have
but
two
there's
things picking up your
yeah,
sound.
there's an echo. That's the problem. And I have this other mic off, but
Oh.
it just wants to echo.
Can you plug that mic into the new, or,
Into the computer, I can't, but I mean, can you hear me or no?
I hear you fine now and there's no echo.
Yeah, so I guess
Oh,
this
there's a
mic,
little more echo
this mic
again.
here is pretty much useless. That's what I should decide.
Well, the mic has to be plugged into the same thing as the streaming thing in order for all those noise cancellation things to work, mainly. This is what I understand. So if you have your mic plugged into a different device, it can't cancel the noise properly.
Now I'm hearing the mic. Now you're echoing.
I'm echoing. Very nice.
Oh.
I find this interesting. You should try this format more often.
Yeah, two of
you and one of the guests, and that way,
yeah,
you can sandwich them like this.
I can just pretend like I'm asking you from each side. Hey, hey.
Yeah, I was actually thinking after I got on that, have I wiped my camera lens recently? Should I? Oh, now there's no sound at all because you're muted on this one. There you go. Okay, so how's the sound on this one?
See, I don't like the sound on this one.
The sound is not as good.
Because it does. I have the mic, but it.
Oh yeah, that's better
know.
with the mic.
No, because
but it's still doing
like,
the echo.
It does the echo, and then so I want the. Here, I want to like mute.
Nope, can't hear you.
Oh. You can only hear me if I add this camera to the stream, I think.
Interesting.
So yeah, I don't know how to get like this mic and that camera. It's just like,
well, you just have to. Can you plug the mic into the other camera? No. Does it plug into the camera or anything like that?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't plug into my laptop because it's a special mic just for my phone.
That is a very unusual problem you have there. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll figure it out.
That's why it's a work in progress, but you know, this has been fun. So it's just better if I don't do the. So this is just better because the mic and the camera works. It's fine, I guess.
Oh, you know what? Maybe it will work if you just put in, if you put on a headset. Have you tried it with a headset?
No, I haven't.
Give it a try with a headset if you're going to use it.
The sound's just fine here, though.
Yeah.
So I don't need.
I'm just saying, if you want to turn on the other video, try it with both the mic and a headset. It might fix it. Might fix the echo.
I'll have to play with it, and then also trying to figure out how to share my screen is always.
Okay, I can. Okay, are you on Chrome? Are you on Chrome?
Yeah, I'm on Chrome.
Okay, so on Chrome you should be able to share screen. All right.
Well, the main problem with sharing your screen is sometimes you share like way too much, and it's a problem.
Well, you can do a Chrome tab and still share the audio. And just that Chrome tab will ever appear, even when you're switching around in other applications. So that's something good.
Okay.
Yeah, you're gonna love doing this soon. So
I'm sure I'll get used to it, or I'll find an assistant that wants to work for free. Either of those things will happen someday.
Yeah. So hopefully you can make me a little banner. Do you know how to do those yet?
See, that's the other thing. I added in here because it said let's see. it said under the banners.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, I have to hit show, I guess. Show.
Cool. Now you know. Yeah, you got it. Maybe you can make me one for that the Yang Gang Roundtable podcast there, ygrtpodcast.com.
Oh, yeah.
And also Annette is putting
Right.
all of our videos on the Annette the Peacemaker channel on YouTube.
So do I just put YGRT podcast?
Yeah, ygrtpodcast.com.
I'm gonna hide this, and I'm not. Oh, now it went away. YGR. YG. What am I saying again? YGGR.
Yang Gang Roundtable. So ygrtpodcast.com. And actually, we have Yang Gang Roundtable.com also, and that will direct you to the ygrtpodcast.com. Just seemed easier to type than to type that whole thing. There you go. That's perfect. Yeah. So if you go to that, and you can find our Twitch live stream on Saturday evenings. We're playing games, I think, on Eastern time, approximately 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern.
Whoa, that's that's.
Are you hitting all the buttons?
Yeah, I'm
They're so
hitting all
fun,
the
right?
all the buttons. See, I wanted to know how to overlay, but I wanted the live with StreamYard. I don't want that. So, and then
StreamYard is pretty fun, huh? I haven't actually done much of that.
but that's not
Annette
supposed
usually
to.
does the technical
Yeah.
aspects of those for me.
Yeah, it's nice if you have somebody to help you.
I just say,
Oh,
Annette, do this, and then it just magically appears.
This was the clip. I guess I have to click on it when I start or do this.
Okay.
When I start, I got to do that thing.
What is it?
It's like a countdown.
Oh, okay. Oh, for you mean before you start your videos?
Yeah, I didn't know I had to click on it first. I thought it was like automatic or something. Like once you start, it just automatically does it. Just like here, watch this. Ready for this?
Cool.
Isn't that cool?
The American Jobs Factory.
And then let's see. This is supposed to be. Oh, I guess it's a background, but it's only a background if. I don't know how this background thing's supposed to work. Oh, maybe you see it like other people see it instead of me. Like I don't see it, but other people see it. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was trying to see what it looked like when you went to YouTube and you would look at it, and unfortunately, it just the dual sounds, it doesn't work.
So your special lighting is something portable that you can take with you when you go
Yeah.
traveling. That's awesome.
I don't know if you can take it traveling though.
No, it's not a travel style.
No, I mean if you had a big enough bag, I could see it. Like you have to. They're basically like stands. They're umbrella stands, and so it's kind of like I mean you could fit them into like a bag or something, but you can't just. Take them with you wherever you go. You gotta pack them up for sure. But the other thing that's cool about this is I am streaming on Facebook and YouTube and Twitch all at the same time.
Oh,
So-
interesting. So you have a Twitch channel too? I did not know that.
Yeah. No, I have a
That's
Twitch
good,
channel
'cause I
that I
feel like-
don't really use. You know,
Okay.
I posted like something just for fun on my Minecraft world to show it off because I wanted to keep, it for prosperity's sake or whatever. Say the wrong words, but for all time or whatever. I wanted to do a video, so yeah, that's on there. But
Okay. Well, I mean, I think all these worlds need to eventually merge. So anyway, so that's cool that you can stream to 3 different
You mean-
places at once.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's too many streaming services, right? It's
No.
kind of ridiculous.
No, it's not too many. It's just that, I mean, I feel like we need alternatives. We cannot let Google just, or, you know, YouTube just control the entire world of streaming.
Well,
you know.
there's this other one that I post to. It's called Library, and it's an independent podcasting thing. But it's every time I post something on YouTube, it gets copied over to Library automatically.
Oh, I see. Mm-hmm. And what's good about Library? Is it like an automatic backup for you? That way you don't have to worry about like YouTube has been known to occasionally suddenly shut down or take away somebody's videos.
Right, and the library keeps it, and they don't demonetize you, and they don't
They don't just. Oh, okay.
But they're also it's hard because not a lot of people know about it, so it's not like a ton of people are going there to check out Library.
Right. Okay. So people aren't watching it there, but is that why they call it Library? Like it's just going to store stuff, kind of.
I mean, that was their catchy name for YouTube channel, basically.
But people will just go and watch things live there. Now, what about you said the other day you were going to live stream something using with the special chat, the money monetizing.
Yeah. So yeah, this Yardstream was able to accommodate that because it goes towards your YouTube, just like if you were on YouTube itself. In fact, you can view on YouTube. Like I can view on YouTube, and let me just see. But the problem I was having is that I gotta mute it. So it doesn't.
Now, the good thing about your other camera is that it's going to keep your image stable while you're tapping or typing, because whatever your laptop's sitting on right now, your image is bouncing a lot.
Yeah.
Doing this.
I would say that's a problem too. Yeah.
So if you have that other camera set up, it won't bounce so much.
So I got to figure that out so that I have a stable camera and I'm able to use the audio from.
Yeah.
See, I don't know why it reverberates though. It's not supposed, it's not supposed to. So I don't know what happened there. Maybe it's something to do with the phone. I need to change the setting on the phone, maybe.
Hi, Mimetic Theory. Someone said hi. I don't know if they're still around, but hello. Yeah. So what's going on for me here in Texas is I'm trying to help my local congressperson, get into office. And she's not fully Yang Gang with us, but I think she's a much better alternative than the Republican incumbent that she's going up against, who I think is super racist. And so I'd much rather have someone who is a friendly person, who is actually intelligent, and is a doctor and is a physician that's that cares about people.
Well, with that said, I don't think everybody running needs to be Yang Gang, but the problem is that unless they are, they don't get the full force of the Yang Gang to be behind them and and everything like that.
Yeah, I've let her know that if she were to come out straight for UBI, I would be able to bring her a lot of people to help. But without those three little, without universal basic income, it's hard to mobilize my friends and family, and that I don't want to, call people and say, you have to come and help me. But I would have done that if it was, so now we have, but I am still working for her on my own. And
so is her campaign going well? Go ahead and tell her name.
So her name is Carolyn Salter, and she's out here in Texas 5. So she's running for the House, and she's going up against Lance Gooden. And yeah, he's really ick. he votes no on everything and just toes the party line all the time. And he
So her-
also put his name on
Carolyn Salter. Is that
name is
SAL?
Salter.
Okay.
Yeah, Carolyn Salter. And she is doing a great job on her own and with a lot of help with from other Democrats in the area. But, you know, we have a hard time turning out young people.
Mm-hmm.
So she's kind of dubbed me her youth coordinator, except we don't have a lot of youths to coordinate. So she's hoping that we'll come up with the great ideas that will bring in, you know, younger people. So.
Oh, there it is. I'm trying to do the banner here. Carolyn.
You did it. Carolyn Salter. Yeah.
Okay.
So she's an MD and she's she was the very first female mayor in our town. And she may be she's so far the only one. So after her was another man. So we've got like, the first time I didn't meet her, I saw her photo up in the city hall where you go to pay for your bills. You go to pay your water bills and do all kinds of, city hall type stuff, attend the city meetings. And there's a long line of portraits up on the wall, man, all the way down. And then there's one woman, and that's her. That's Carolyn Salter. I remember once I read her name there and I'm like, And then I actually got to meet her in person. So that was really exciting for me because she was, attending all the Democratic women meetings out here. And I did too. So, there's also besides Lance Gooden, there's also a libertarian running. His name is, I think, Kevin Hale. And they're trying to run an event in Dallas. It's just kind of like Yang Speaks, they feel like the libertarians are always cut out of every debate. So the third party never gets any chance to talk. And they're trying to run some sort of a black umbrella protest. And so if anybody wants to get involved with that, just to allow more, if you're interested in third parties and having, breaking that feels like a stranglehold, right? that the two-party system has over us, and just asking to give people a chance to speak. I think that's actually a pretty worthy cause. And so they're going to be doing that in Dallas. So
okay, cool.
let our Texas friends know.
Yeah. Need more support. And then, Donna's running in Austin, which we have nothing to do with. So
Donna Imam.
Yeah.
How do you say
she
her
seems
name?
pretty cool.
Yeah, I love her. I love her stuff. It's just, I think it's, just great that we have people who are running that. I feel like finally we have people that we can definitely trust to actually, do what they say they were going to do when they go into office. I think the old time politicians that have been around for a while, a lot of people are afraid that, once they get into office, they're just going to, do the same things that all the other politicians have been doing. But I think Donna is among a new generation of candidates that were going to give us a different, a chance to actually have somebody who really cares and is going to make a difference and do something completely different. So
Yeah.
I love that.
Cool.
Yeah.
So if we can kind of wrap it up with
Sure.
Here. Let's see.
What's going on now? Yeah.
So you're the one person that I know who has read some of my Yang Gang book so far.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so I think what needs to be done is I just need to finish it, and then in the editing figure out what story should be prominent and what story should, it's going to be more in the editing where we put different stories together. That's kind of what's suggested at this point, right?
That's fair. Well, I seem to remember that we were trying to order, you have a lot of different stories to tell, and you were originally thinking of just telling it kind of timeline wise.
Yeah, chronologically.
Yeah. But after you have all of the stories told, you might make a different decision about that. Right.
Right.
And and you might choose one or two to feature up front, so people would have it get a little better taste of what's happening, what's going to be coming up in your stories.
Right.
So,
And-
what are some of the important people that you are going to be featuring stories about?
Well, again, I mean, chronologically, I'm kind of just going at it, but I mean, obviously, Hexel is going to be have. Oh, I ran into Hexel quite a few times, and so he's going to have a lot of, different places in the story. And what I think he's doing with the Yang Gang in Dallas is phenomenal. And so, and then.
Yeah. I think they're going to be doing their next event is going to be that Income March. There's going to be an event, and Income March said something about how they have like 40 different cities signed up now to do that next event. That's pretty exciting.
And then I got from one of the videos that Andrew did with candidates or with the mayors is that any, and Hexel can be a part of this, but any town can sign up for a UBI trial through their mayor. They want to get
Really? I
UBI
haven't
going.
heard about this. You got to tell me more.
So
Tell me more
they,
about that, yeah.
the mayor, there's like 15 mayors that have signed on to universal basic income and to trials in their town. And they created basically a fund and a program to implement it in any town that a mayor reaches out to them. They can look to start a UBI trial in their town. So
is that something that if a mayor was interested, they would just go to movehumanityforward.com, or how would they find out about? How did they do it?
yes, they would go to movehumanityforward.com and reach out to them, and then they would connect them to the mayors, the participating mayors, and they have, resources and things like that.
So that's specifically a Humanity Forward event thing?
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh. Okay, because I haven't seen, I wonder, I can't find it on the website, so I wonder where the notification of that was that in a Yang Speaks, or where did it happen?
It was in the video, Humanity Forward video where he had the two mayors on the stream, so I might have to watch the thing again and look at the details. But
yeah, if you find that, send me a link or something. That's pretty cool. Because you'd have to be a pretty stupid mayor to not sign up for free money for your own people. Come on, people.
Yeah. Well, the whole thing is that they have a program to like kind of start it off right, but at the same time, they talk about they have to get their own funding together. That's the whole point. Humanity Forward. Oh, on YouTube, do you think it's under Humanity? Well, I have Andrew Yang coming up. Oh, okay. I have Humanity Forward. It's funny. I'm not
totally use that. Honestly, yeah, sometimes I'm not really paying attention either. So that's why we all need friends, okay? We need friends to like catch us up on the news.
I just went to Humanity Forward with 2.24 subscribers, and it says no content. So maybe I'm at the wrong one.
So I want to let you guys know, remember that this event for the Basic Income March, okay, is happening on September 19th. That's only, 12 days from now? You guys got to pay attention now.
Yeah.
It's time to sign up. And if you don't have one in your city, you still have time to maybe organize one real fast. I mean, if you already have a group, right? You already have your Yang Gang group. You've got that already done. So it should be easier to pull together. So
do you think Hexel's on that? I mean,
oh yeah, Dallas and Fort Worth are going to do it. No, you find out about it. Yeah,
I thought
you've got to be there live streaming. You've got to be out there.
Yeah, I probably will. Actually.
Yep. Bring your camera and maybe not the light
and a mask.
It'll be daytime, I hope.
Yeah.
What else do
Actually,
you need besides
actually,
a
I thought Hexel. I told Hexel to come on come on tonight at 8:30. And
Oh, okay. Is he not here yet?
so I guess he's not going to make it because it's almost 9 and we're ending at 9. But
I'll just do his spiel for him. Haha. you tell him I did the job.
yeah.
I can't do it as well as Hexel though. I'm sorry, you guys. I wish that I could just teleport him. Oh, why aren't we calling him? Do you have 10 minutes left?
I sent him. I had sent him a message on Facebook,
Oh, okay.
and he didn't respond. So he either forgot or whatever. But I'll get him on again, and I'm gonna do like a bigger or a longer show.
Okay.
So this is just to relaunch the American Jobs Factory YouTube channel.
Oh.
Thank you, everyone, today.
The way to reach Hexel is through Basecamp because Humanity Forward Texas is now organizing on this platform called Basecamp. See, that's just so many things to learn. This year has been such a big learning curve for many people.
Well, I stopped looking at Basecamp because
like me.
I just saw them always working on trying to get the mission and vision, and I'm like, did they get that yet? I mean, I don't even know, but at a certain point I just stopped ignoring it I started ignoring it because it seems like they kept working on it and not getting anywhere. It's frustrating me. So it's just like, they'll figure it out. Uh-oh, I lost you. I lost your...
Oops, I'm sorry. I forgot to turn on my mic. Yeah, so, I think they actually did finish.
Okay.
Yeah, they finished. So it's done, and I think it's going to be on the website soon somewhere. Right now, we've got calls to action to call for Donna. Okay, that's still happening, and then we've got the Basic Income March in the city, and also you can sign up with the Humanity Forward Texas to support ranked choice voting. This is one of the 3 major ones right now, and I think eventually, all of these different the vision statements and things like that will all be appearing, on the Texas Humanity Forward Texas website. So everybody's trying to reorganize, now that we have a different direction to take. We used to be organized around trying to get Andrew elected. And now we're organizing around getting a lot more people elected than before.
Well, to take up the mantle for down ballot candidates is brilliant because, I mean, a lot of those people have a bigger impact than, anybody. So
a lot of people say, they always saying politics is all local, but I think that might be true in the sense of like grassroots, type of movements. But it's really about you calling 2 friends. Every single one of us just needs to call 2 friends every time we want to do something, and have those 2 friends then call 2 other friends, right? As long as you can sustain that. If you just can sustain that, then it becomes a movement. We lose steam when we just keep calling each other. We had to call 2 new people into the movement. So, yeah.
Well, that's kind of hard because, I don't talk to people. I don't know.
Well, you're being real honest there. Well,
Yeah.
I can't. You're trying to be honest, but you're failing because that's just not true. You talk to different people on every one of your live streams.
Yeah,
So.
but I'm just saying, I don't actively talk to people I don't know so much, out in my community. Like I moved in here and my neighbors kind of said hi, and I was excited to talk to, people, but I can't go really meet them because of coronavirus. So it's kind of right over there.
Oh, you're talking about right this minute, though.
No,
I thought you were
I mean
talking
in
about
general.
reality. You know,
in general, because like local politics, you don't want to like call up somebody. Like most of my friends are in Arizona. I don't want to call up somebody in Arizona and be like, hey, this local person is running. But if you're talking more like nationally, like universal basic income, yeah, I'd like always.
Okay, well, I've got to differ, you know, from you there. I mean, I think it's bad to, you know, have all people from outside helping you. But for example, with Carolyn's campaign, if East Texas gets attention from somebody who's living outside of Texas or outside of our local area, that's great. I don't see why not, because there are a lot of people whose races, their local race may not be that interesting, or they're pretty sure that their candidate's going to win anyway. And if you want to put some energy towards helping, you know, turn Texas blue, this is the time to do it. Is, you know, take a good look at Texas or some other state that you think is actually going to make a difference this year, because, you know, T can't win without Texas. So, you know, we can. There's a lot of good that can be done by choosing an area to help in that you feel like will actually, you know, make a change. So it's not just really Carolyn Salter that we're working for. It's that she is holding down the campaign office, right? She has opened up one of her own homes to become the office for all the Democrats in the area, which means that if we want to support Joe Biden or, you know, one of the other Democratic candidates, we can do it by meeting at that place. And so support for Carolyn Salter means growing the entire Democratic community in this area. And
Right.
actually just offering any choice, because without even that second party, we really only have one party here. And how much more sad is one party politics compared to two if you don't like two party politics, right? So it's just even giving people a real choice, you know. So I feel like if you are, but of course, some people would be like, yeah, you know, I don't need to worry about politics because my candidate's already going to win. No, you can help out somewhere a little farther away, more remotely. It's no different now, especially during coronavirus time. Everything is virtual. So why does it matter?
When you say
East Texas or sitting at home in Wisconsin or something?
when you say tell two friends, you mean like if I called up people in Tucson, Arizona, I could say like you should support this person in East Texas. I mean, how does that work?
Well, you can just tell them about what you're doing. For example, you know, like for me, I'm telling you what I'm doing. If you don't show up tomorrow from my area, that's fine. But there might be somebody, you never know. There might be someone you hear about who's looking for an internship. So for example, if you're looking for an internship with a politician, you know, we're open. We have an opening. Right. This is going to be a really good, you know, something to put on your resume for school or for college, for your next job. If you're interested in politics, you can learn a lot, you know. So I feel like sometimes people don't. The social aspect of any endeavor is important, but certainly politics is all about that. You know, it's just about calling two more people than you did last time. And I feel like people make it too complicated. You know, they talk about phone banking and then it feels like, oh, it's so overwhelming. Like I have to call all these people, cold call them, you know, and then maybe I get rejected or things like that. But you could call your own friends and family. You know?
Well, what I'm working towards like professionally is like I want to be able to do like social media for maybe some of these campaigns and help them that way, because I think they could make a lot bigger impact if they put time towards, you know, reaching out to people social media wise, having better commercials. And you can do, you know, commercials pretty cheap too nowadays. I mean, you can.
Well, what about a TikTok? Have you ever TikToked yet? Because I don't know how to do that.
Yeah, I have a TikTok centered around Andrew.
Okay. So like we could totally use a TikTok specialist, because they are not, I don't think they're hitting this for Carolyn, right? So she's hired a whole media team, right? And that's because she needs enough, like she needs that much energy on it. Right. So if a volunteer might, you know, say, well, I have some time, and then next week, you know, they might not have enough time because they've got something else priority, you know, coming up. So she's got a whole team that does that, but we don't have anybody doing TikTok. We don't have anybody doing like I mean, there's a lot of stuff that can be volunteered for, as we know from Andrew Ying's campaign. A lot of us gave time to do, like you did. You know, you gave so much time, some of your energy to making videos for to get his message out and to see more Yang Gang and just get us, you know, to acquainted with each other. I wouldn't have known what half the people look like without, you know, seeing them on camera, you know.
Right.
So it's not building that community. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And as far as the media team, I wonder, you know, what they're focusing on too. I mean, with the media team, because, you know, if you're focusing on like commercials and, you know, producing like professionally commercials, it's not the best market right now. And that's what I thought was interesting, because I listened to Zach on Nerds for Yang recently. He was on there, and I asked the question, like, what was the decision to focus on commercials rather than social media and like targeted ads? And what I thought was interesting is that they focused on professional commercials because it brought a level of sophistication or taking Andrew serious if he could show up on like local TV and whatever. And I think, and you know, I was like, well, that makes sense in a way, but at the same time, they're the most expensive, and it didn't do the job. So even though that's true in a way, like if you saw Andrew on a normal commercial, you would be like, oh, I guess he's a legitimate candidate. Yes, but you could get more ads and more like in your face stuff if you had more content that was social media and things like that. So I still think it's wasted money to go for professional.
Well, I mean, we can say whatever we think, but I think that it's always the candidate that's going to make these decisions. And oftentimes candidates believe that, you know, of course, you're going to need a team of professionals who have done it before. And you pick somebody who's, you know, won an election or two possibly for somebody else. And then you just you trust in whatever they're you know, they give you advice, right? And you've paid for this advice, or you're going to take it. But honestly, the really interesting things, the innovative things, the aggressive new things that are happening come from you know, organizers and who are grassroots. The grassroots people provide the creativity and the energy.
Right, and I feel like that's the best money spent is on the grassroots.
Well, there's hardly any money spent really, because the candidate has their own money that they spend on their people, and then the grassroots raises their own money to do their own things.
Yeah, so, and that's why I think it's
money on us.
I think that I think a candidate could really, even Andrew next time, could really take it if they focused on more money on grassroots activities.
Yeah,
I think Obama did that in a way,
right?
Huh?
There's that whole FEC issue of independent expenditures having to be somehow separated, but I believe that candidates should put more attention towards their own supporters and how the supporters are doing. And I think that Andrew would probably do that in the next time, next time coming around. I believe so, because a lot of us have talked about it, and hopefully he's heard that, you know, from somewhere, from many, many different outlets. We've been talking about that. So,
well, it's the same thing he talks about. If you invest in people, you get a lot more out of it than if you invest in other areas. So, I mean, conceptually, he knows that. Now, if he can translate that to, you know, action with his campaign.
If it ever happens again, 2024, everybody, or maybe 2028. Oh man, I hate to push it back, but yeah.
Well, I do. So what I think is going to happen is that if Joe Biden wins, then he will look to be in the administration. But if Joe Biden doesn't win, then I think he will run for mayor.
Interesting.
New York.
So he's keeping all those options open, huh?
Yeah.
I hope he gets the tech cabinet. And in fact, if he does, I think, 2024 is not necessary. Honestly, I am not like 100% like we have to 2024 or any of that, because it really has to depend on how his family is feeling, whether his family still needs him. The kids are still going to be quite young. He has a full life ahead of him. And if he's doing a great job as in a cabinet position at some point, or doing something that is really changing the world, that's going to be good enough for me. And I think Yang Gang should just support the policies,
Yeah,
Let's
but
support
I
the
think
policies.
he wants to run again, I'm sure.
2024?
Well, 24,
He did
24,
promise.
20.
He seems like a man of his word,
Yeah.
he did kind of promise, I think.
Yeah. I mean, he, as soon as possible. I don't know, 2024. I mean, it may not be doable. Maybe 2028 is the time, but I mean, I know he wants to run again, because it's kind of the whole thing is to see where he can get to at this point, because this set so much groundwork, and I think just the idea of not having to relay that groundwork again, just like my YouTube channel, I don't want to have to start it over. I want to keep, that's why I don't need to relaunch it, because I mean, I lost 500 followers or whatever just since, not posting enough and Andrew dropping out. But I don't want to,
Well, we're
not do anything ever again.
We're at a moment where it's like we need to have a very strong focus on sustainability in our, the way that we go about things. I think during the campaign, we burned ourselves out. Almost everybody did, right? Because we just were 100%. We're going to go. We gave up, homes and moved to Iowa. We gave up jobs and decided we're just going to do politics, get this done. And it wasn't enough.
Right.
And so now it's like, okay, we gotta go back to the drawing board, and actually now we have a longer timeline, and we can't just give up like that, because we know the older people, for all that we've complained about them, those people who have been in politics for 20, 30 years, I'm really amazed. I'm like, how do you keep that up? I mean, you must be disappointed year after year after year, right? Because you don't always win. You lose a lot, right? Maybe half of the time at least, right? You got two parties. Half the time you're definitely losing. and then possibly a lot more than that, right? If you live in the wrong area and everybody around you is just of a different mindset. So it's amazing how people are able to keep that up for 20, 30 years. And we have to, and it took that long. I remember when I was going to college at UC Berkeley, when I first arrived on campus, was the first time I saw, the whole hemp movement, right? Movement? Hemp and marijuana.
Hemp? Okay.
Yeah, hemp and marijuana.
Hemp is different than marijuana, but go on.
But both, right? Was happening on campus was, legalize hemp, legalize marijuana. And of course, before me, right, it had been already happening for years and years before. That was like in 1990s when I got there. So look how long it took for marijuana to start coming around, and we're not fully there yet. We don't even have it legalized at a federal level. We don't have we don't have everything, but it's changing. The world is changing. And that's sometimes how long it takes for something to happen. And, I hate for universal basic income to become one of those things that takes my entire lifetime to show up. I'd like it to happen tomorrow, just like everybody else. But honestly, that's just kind of it would be too much to ask almost. And so
it's like nothing happens first thing out of the gate type of thing. So
we have a message from Dark Sage. Did you get a chance to read it?
Oh, here we go. Okay, well, it's a huge message, so I'm going to try to show it. Oh, okay.
So
I served on my local town council in Pennsylvania. I'm the only independent candidate running for re-election this year. Again, a ton of Democrat and Republicans, both old and new. Seems to me that the candidates I'm facing want the two-party system to remain the same And me having been an independent for 30 years is not sure what to do. Debates we have coming up. Should I try to market myself or attack my opponents because they want to keep the status quo? So, okay. There's more. I understand it's very hard for independents, no matter the level of politics, to have success. All I want is what is best for my town and community as a whole. I want to be the role model for people and show them you can serve in politics, but not be corrupt and driven by power. But this year is very different with the whole COVID shutdown, for sure. So I feel like, especially in sales, like people don't care about your credentials. I mean, you sometimes you can mention them, it's fine, but people are more interested in what you're going to do for them than they are about what type of credentials you have. And so there's an example with this guy who gave some advice about how to get this certain outcome that they wanted. And he said, look, this is what you're looking at. This is what's going to happen. And if you listen to me, you're going to get this outcome by the weekend. And that was more powerful than him saying, well, I have 2 degrees. I've been working with this company for this long or whatever. It was more powerful to have an understanding of the situation. So that's what I would say as far as when you're on a debate stage, if you can demonstrate your understanding of the situation and demonstrate why the other people don't provide the solution, then that is the best way to go. And it's not so much attacking. I mean, you can just, if you can articulate so much, not attacking, but that they don't have the right solution or the right sense of what's happening, that's the most powerful thing that you can do with trying to persuade people. So hopefully that answers your question.
Well, I wanted to also get into the question, which is that of course you could attack your opponents, right? But I don't think that's going to win you the nomination.
Attacking is fine, but not like how the Democrats normally attack. Like a Democrats attack and they use, they use attacks that are just like set up and shallow, and that's not effective.
Well, I mean, it's come back to haunt people who've been who've gotten too negative. You have to be careful where to draw the line. Certainly not do anything specifically personal. But I want to also, I think the important thing though, okay, as when you are a third party candidate, consider it a win if you're able to change the conversation. And you might actually win the entire thing, right? That would be great. But even if you can't do that, okay, even if you had only like a moonshot chance, right? Being there allows you a chance to change the conversation and to get people to hear some other ideas that maybe aren't even on the table. So if you can just be in the conversation, so that's the number one, is you want to, insist on being in a debate, insist on being taken seriously, and that's something you can challenge. You can just call them out for, they won't even allow you to hear from me. They don't want to debate me. They don't want to, hear about these issues. They don't want to hear about these other options that you have. And I think that's a really good, it's not attacking the candidates specifically, but just the system is not designed so that you can actually get, information out to people. I see he's saying he's going to, I don't know if this is a man or a woman, but Dark Sage is going to give us an example. So,
well, I appreciate that, but it's been 2 hours and I'm going to wrap it up.
Me too. Yeah. Zephyr is going to want me back. I told him 15 minutes and it's gone a little longer. So I'm going to go and thank him for giving me this chance to talk to everyone.
No problem. Thank you so much, Faye. It was good to see you and talk to you. And I will talk to you soon and probably ask you to come on the channel again sometime soon.
Sounds good. Okay.
Okay.
Always nice
Bye-bye.
to see you. Bye.
So I'm back, people. Just me. And so I am taking off. Thank you so much for joining me. And again, this is going to happen at least once a week. I'm going to go ahead and have even more interesting things to talk to you about, things going on, and I'm going to bring on more guests, but I'm going to actually do videos with guests. So thank you, everyone. And everyone have a great night. Okay. Take care.